What's going on, everybody? This is Michael Stewart-Isaacs,
And this is Shemekka Ebony.
and this is your next edition of
Sunday
Sunday Stacks.
Stacks.
Yes, Sunday Stacks. We are back, and we are, as always, happy to be alive. Yes, we are here on the Alive Podcast
Yes.
Network, and we are excited and thrilled to make sure that all that you can do while you're alive is being fulfilled. And Sunday Stacks is making sure that week for week that your life is stacking up. And we always like to make sure that each and every one of our listeners, our audience, our family, our friends, those who are supporting Sunday Stacks know that you deserve to make sure that your life is stacking up. Have you ever thought about that? Is your life stacking up the way it should? We're at the end of the year now, and this is that special edition of Sunday Stacks. We are at episode 35.
Yes. So exciting. I can't believe we're here
We are
already.
here and we are excited to just continue to provide you with content, rich entertainment, and just a little taste of what it is to really hear people who work hard to do the work, show what it looks like, not afraid to share our vulnerabilities, tell you about where we focus on our family, community, and company, and how week for week we make sure things are stacking up. So, as always, we already know kind of it's been a holiday season, but I'm going to ask you, Shemekka, how's it stacking up for you this week?
Well, it has been wonderfully amazing. Just been in the season of really taking some time with intention this month to not only wrap down the present corporate industry world that I stand in leadership positions for, but also for uh, the loving experiences of family that we've had, creating new traditions, making experiences. This year was big for stacking this Christmas because we wanted to make it an experiential Christmas. And oh, what a series of experiences it has been, from popping up and hitting up egg roll again in Charlotte.
The Egg Roll
Um,
Company, yes. If
yes,
you don't know,
delicious. Oh my
you need
gosh.
to know about the Egg Roll Company. And they not been
My
official sponsors yet, but they
my
will be.
my son said we are going back to get those often. I was like, yes, we are. But to be stacking with a sensitivity of and gratitude for this holiday season, we got a chance to experience our grand prize, Nova's first Christmas with the family with Brilliant Bunch, and for her to get christened with her first set of Afro Unicorn gifts,
Oh,
which was
yes.
pretty dope
Shout
too.
out Afro
Um,
Unicorn for the youngins.
yes, yes, it is the make sure it is the official Afro Unicorn, because there is only one founding Black woman business owner that has had so many accreditations and accomplishments that actually is the owner of the Afro Unicorn trademark. And we were glad to get a chance to meet with her team in licensing last year, and looking forward to hopefully seeing her and the crew again there this year. But how's it been stacking for you in this Christmas holiday season and Hanukkah? Have want to celebrate and lift that up as well.
Yes, yes.
Going on this week, as well as Kwanzaa. So we're very aware and sensitive. But I wanted to just plug those in there before you tell us how your experience is.
Oh,
How's it
no
stacking
problem.
for
As
you?
we definitely explored the history of holidays last week for those who keep up with the show. But definitely shout out to everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see when cultures and people's traditions are, experienced and appreciated. And this week has been an amazing journey in terms of just watching how things are stacking up and making sure that family was really prioritized. I mean, I
Mhm.
feel like I've been in the kitchen all week, to be honest with y'all. Like,
Thank
for those who
you.
know me, man, I love to cook. I put my love into my food.
Beautiful love language. Tasty love
I
language.
mean, I do my best and make sure that the whole of my family can eat to their fullest extent. And I mean, you might as well thought it was Thanksgiving, but we had the pleasure of having our family over. We had our brilliant bunch. Shout out to the oldest, our Miles Mission. The crew was out here, Lamari and CJ, and just having them present with us, with their brothers, is always a joy to see my boys together and just
Mhm.
enjoying them. And then I took some time out to see my baby girl, Allie Hare, my little hard worker,
Our
brilliant
soon to
bunch.
be 18-year-old.
Soon to be 18-year-old. Yes, y'all. For those out there, I got a daughter. I got a daughter, y'all. Now that shout out to one of our good friends, poet Tim Jackson. You
Mhm.
know,
Got a daughter
yeah, I got a daughter now, right? Shout out. But just as a father, anyone who has a daughter, your little girls are just amazing. But when they get to that special, like pinnacle ages, like 13, 16, now I'm at about to see my daughter turn 18. It's just like just so many moments. But I was able to spend some time with her this Christmas. She chose to want to work, so she's a hard worker. She worked on Christmas Day, y'all. She wanted that time and a half to get that coin. So
I would like to also believe that she wanted to spend time with some seniors that may not have had family come and visit them too.
respectfully, and I think that she enjoyed herself. She's definitely a hard worker and diligent. So just shout out to all the kids in the brilliant bunch of just the time spent and just how we were able to just kind of bring our family together. As Shemekka mentioned, we have a grandbaby. Yes, I know anybody ever sees us will never believe that we ourselves can have grandchildren, but yes, we have a grandbaby, and it just to see her in her first Christmas and just being able to bless her with gifts such as the Afro unicorn or just so many other little things to see the first smiles and the interactions with presents, and we're talking about a little one, so
Right. So it wasn't a shower her. Look, she's not going to remember this one. Like it's only going to be our pictures. How they tell the story. So we're excited about telling the story for her as she gets older. And then also creating those traditions with her to understand experiences and not always about presents.
I love it. I love it. I definitely, it's been fun and just seeing so much this week, just so much joy, keeping it simple, right, has been really a key to the week and just to the year. Like, there's so much that's been going on this year, so many things, and just kind of staying focused on ways that we can stay strategic and moving into the next year, y'all. So with, Sunday Stacks, our goal is to kind of show you how we focus and operate. We always prioritize family movements and what our family needs may be, and then we maximize what we can do with that, with what our community impact can be, and then we overall look at where our companies can grow to really be able to serve the community based on listening and understanding. And that's something we want to impart to our audience and our listeners. It's just ways to really create what we call better practices. So if anybody that knows me in Shemekka, we had an organization called I Am Brilliant. We're a movement of movements where we've been out in community for going on 10 years now, just tracking the changing environment and the climate of bright spots that are in the world that are out here doing the work that people don't believe sometimes is getting done when it comes to creating positivity and great affirmations within community. And I Am Brilliant, we've kind of centered ourselves as an organization to be present in the beginning of a lot of these early organizations that are change makers and just being able to validate their existence and what they're building. And it's just been a pleasure. So as
Mhm.
we look at 2025 and moving towards, what we're building, we want to continue through Sunday Stacks as a piece of content that is brought to you by I Am Brilliant in partnership with the Alive Podcast Network and so many other organizations and sponsors that we're looking to work with. We really want to make sure you understand like what we're building and what this is about is really to help continue to empower people and position people to their greatest ability and their ability to know that they can do all things in all situations as long as they have a greater belief and willing to do the work to show their gifts and talents and how that can really be the change that we're all looking for at any given time. And that's kind of some of what we did. You got any quick little thoughts? You founded so many things, Shemekka. You got so many things. We're about to talk a little bit about better practices as we talk about in I Am Brilliant. But what is the better practice we can do with Sunday Stacks as we look to move forward into this new year?
I'm looking at better practices of creating opportunities to let people know who we are. We are reintroducing ourselves in the scene of podcasts. We honestly dipped out right before podcasts start popping to really go on the road and be in the hedges and highways so many years ago. And so to reintroduce this being a medium that we amplify, centering family, community, and company, not only from theory to practice, and promote some really dope and incredible organizations, businesses, and things that are coming through their partnerships with I Am Brilliant. That's what I'm looking for, what that manifests into as we look at 10 years.
Yes, 10 years.
10
We've been
years.
building a team. We've been building great stories and so much glory, y'all. So much glory. Like we're really grateful just to be a part of so many amazing. And I'm shouting out all of y'all out there that listen to Sunday Stacks and those who really know how long the grind, the push, the tenacity to be consistent and show up when other people didn't expect. I mean, you've seen us somewhere in the streets, you've seen us somewhere in the airport, you've seen our travels. We do this independently, y'all. We doing this in a way that we want to make sure the integrity of how we build this and roll it out to really help. This week we've had the pleasure with your support of what we're building here with Sunday Stacks and I Am Brilliant. We were able to support some of our mission work that we're doing in the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sierra Leone. Like we want to continue to be able to support so many things that you may not be aware of. But when you support I Am Brilliant, you're supporting the faces of so many different
Mhm.
people who want to live at their highest level of illumination that they're able to change their nation. And we're doing the work, y'all. So if it's sometimes hard and difficult because you do work and because you are yourself trying to take care of your family, definitely support this movement of Sunday Stacks, I Am Brilliant, and so many other platforms that Shemekka is out here building. As a husband, I'm always grateful to support this community champion, certified human being that is out here really pioneering a new
Thank you.
way of making doing the right thing the new cool. And I mean, this is such a heart of integrity. It's me, y'all. I'm the promoter. I'm the one out here, like I said, raising the flag, making it loud, trying to get the social media going. But this woman's so humble. She's so dope. She's so honorable. And I'm just grateful that we're able to build our movement into a phenomenal piece of
Thank you,
business.
God.
And someone told us from a organization that probably delivers your package to you, we've built a conglomerate on our own. And there's so many great things still in the works that's coming up next year. The team is strong. So shout out to all of our team, all of y'all, whoever you are, you know who you are. If you helped us this year, best believe you are part of the team. That's word to accountants. That's word to lawyers. That's word to, party planners. That's word to everybody, anybody that, you helped us use a piece of AI, whatever it may be. Heck, my son turned me on to a new AI service that I'm going to start using soon. I mean, everybody, anybody, the brilliant bunch, everybody, all of y'all out there, thank you for what you've done this year to really put us on the right track and really make sure that Sunday Stacks is stacking up week for week.
Yeah, so when we're thinking about upcoming what's next for 2025, like mark your calendars. We are doing our 10-year celebration in Vegas in May. To celebrate the prep for the launching of Sunday Stack. So we want you in the building. So mark your calendars. Stay in touch. Make sure you subscribe to a live podcast network so you can have access to the upcoming events to know what's going on as we talk about it here in real time on the show. But yeah, looking at celebrating 10 years next year. And for those that remember I remember when way back 10 years ago, that were the first believers. We just want to say thank you, and let's go have fun together because we like to have fun.
And I'm gonna shout it out real quick because everything we do, we turn into a tour. So if you can't get to Vegas, best believe we're gonna be
Oh yeah, we're gonna
celebrating
be several other places.
several other places because we got a lot on the list. I mean, I
Right,
thank
right.
God for our
Definitely,
ability to
definitely.
travel, and I pray for the health and the strength to continue to be able to touch the people and really get out there. So we love being behind the mic and talking life into you and telling you that your life deserves to be stacking up. But we look even more to just be in front of you and really understand how we can just give you our vibes and energy and bring a good time. So it's going to be a lot of celebrations in 2025. Sunday Stacks, I Am Brilliant. We're bringing the party. So y'all better be ready to really stack up. So as we've been developing and really building for 2024 into 2025, this year we were fortunate through this podcast to create a segment that you all have deemed one of your favorites. And that is our Sunday school segment. Yes, Sunday school back in full effect. And we want to make sure as we look to end the year right, we want to just recap some great things in regards to Sunday school. Shemekka and I reflected on we've activated our intentions for 2025 earlier this month. So anybody that knows our family, the House of Stewart-Isaacs, shout out, as well as what we do with the Brilliant Bunch. What we really do is we have a system that for the several years we always start our New Year's on December 1st of the previous year so that way we can make resolutions and create new habits that we want to adapt. But when we don't keep those promises to ourselves, we only try to adapt what we were willing to keep in the attempt to begin the new year with a good, healthy start. So this year we were able to do that as always. I had a few things that I wanted to adjust and be better. One was doing push-ups maybe a certain amount of time when I wake up and go to sleep, or really working on, health habits. That's what most of us do as resolution. But it was also mental habits and, things that we do physically and with our body. I think I was trying to wake up at 5 a.m. and Shemekka messed with me because she's like, I think you did that for like 2 days, maybe 2 days, 2 days. You
No
know,
judgment.
no judgment, no judgment. But in Sunday school, we just want to ask a few basic questions. How are we feeling about our test run for 2025, right? What are we getting prepared to say we're going to do for 2025? And again, we always focus on FCC, family, community, and company, right? So set your goals around those parameters. And then from there, we want to look at what will you change? Like, what is it and what will keep you, during that time? What will you keep in that process of making those resolutions? And that's what we're reflecting on today in Sunday school is there were promises made. Are the promises going to be kept? And then we'll take it into one of our next favorite segments because I think that's a great way to look at it, right? There are promises made, but will they be kept? And so when I look at just teaching this aspect that we're talking about, it's really important that we all just really reflect on ways that we can continue to build and grow our mindset. This is a time to understand that a resolution is not just simply saying, hey, this is just a new little small thing that I'm making a change. This is a declaration to a new discipline. And one thing I walk away in the month of December going into 2025 in 2024 is that I lack discipline. And one thing I desire more than anything to be in a position for this time next year is to be the most disciplined version of myself that I can in every capacity, also meaning to withhold myself from things that I may have seen as pleasurable or otherwise, that I can start to make the reasonable sacrifices to start to achieve new goals of things that I would like to attain, but my lifestyle or my choices have not allowed me to be in that position because I'm not willing to be disciplined to get to that level of freedom. What's your thoughts there, Shemeka?
Oh, that sounds good. Thank you for lifting it and bringing it to the forefront. It sounded a lot like the spirit of the Forge.
Mm.
Watch
Shout out.
that movie. It was
That was
pretty
good. That
dope.
was good.
Yeah, so when we think about walking and operating as a disciple of Jesus Christ, like in this movie, it just kind of helped us challenge what are we willing to sacrifice? What are we willing to give up? What are we willing to die to surrender in the transformation of being in pursuit of what we wanted? And so we started December 1st, assessing that and evaluating that for ourselves in the essence of our perceptions of family, community, and company. And so for me, when I reflect on how I'm feeling about the test run, I would give myself an N for needs improvement in several areas, because I found myself in a posture of celebrating and being in a good place. But to your point, Michael, about the discipline, there are some areas that, it got too cold, so I couldn't walk anymore. It was like, oh, well, I didn't replace it. And so when you leave space and a gap in the things that you want to create that are good, even if you have to find moments of pause, if you don't replace it or hold space for it, it will be replaced with something that sometimes aren't as healthy of habits or eat, whether that's eating habits, relational habits, disciplined habits, things that can make us better if we do not foster an act and practice of discipline. When I think about what will I keep, I did a lot of uh, reallocating my time and reevaluating how I spend it uh, in the moments that I do find available for 2025, to bring it in. I was making myself so available to help so many people, and wrapping a programmatic bow on top of it, or a coaching agreement on top of it, challenging people. Like, it's hard to be in a posture that people want better, but they're not disciplined enough to want better in a way that's going to be healthy and helpful for them. And so when I think about what I've put to practice this month, it was the downsizing and the scaling down of how accessible I had made myself through whether it was coaching, courses, or allow the access to people to retain my time in those capacities that I for 2020. Look, if you don't get it in 2024, you're not gonna
We
get it in
reclaim our
2025.
time.
So,
We reclaim our time, right?
yes, yes.
Um,
And reallocating my own value and how I can get to not only my personal relationship building goals, but also my financial goals for my businesses and the subsidiaries and beneficiaries of the work of those businesses for 2025. So my practices in those areas are doing good. And what will I change? I would like to change. I want to get up earlier to begin my day. So I don't know if I'll do this 5 o'clock thing with Mike, but I'll meet him halfway.
I'm trying, y'all. 5 o'clock,
4:30.
boy. I would like to think I'm gonna be in that billionaire, millionaire mindset of waking up early. I'm trying, y'all,
It's
because
5 o'clock somewhere when I get
it's 5 o'clock
up.
somewhere, but no, shout out to 5 a.m. wake ups. It's like if I wake up at 8 a.m., I guess it's 5 o'clock in the West Coast, but it's definitely something to really find ways to discipline yourself. And thank you so much for just sharing, what you said in regards to just really building us into a better place. And I think that's what, again, going back to I am brilliant and some of the mindsets that we talk about access, experience, better practices. Those will get into I Am Brilliant more, iambrilliant.org. You can check it out. But definitely understand that better practices come with that, right?
Mhm.
Is access, experience, better practices, not best practices, because best practices still are failing people. But better practices make sure that we're going even that extra mile that best practices don't get us to. And that's what we're really talking about when we look at our New Year's resolutions as well as new solutions that we want to create in our lives. Will it be something to have you in a better place this time next year? This is the test. This is the truth. This is me, Michael Stewart-Isaacs, talking to you. And let's get it real. So, as we can stay here forever with Sunday school, as we said, is one of your new favorite topics. Let's go back to our most popular topic, and that is the Whiz of the week. Yes, whiz of the week. But we're going to call this time whiz of the year. Whiz of the year. Yes, whiz of the year is out here. We are definitely thankful to all of y'all who really tune in and tap into Sunday Stacks, who enjoy our Sunday school and also this whiz of the week. But now we're going to call this the whiz of the year. And yes, there's so many whizzes of this year that we can't even just choose one for this simple week alone. There was so many things politically. We always know this has become a Trump presidential landslide year. It's become so many different. I mean, this man literally had the most convictions and the most votes all in the same year. I've never seen anything like it. And then we could talk about so many different aspects. Shout out to Kamala Harris for the attempt to be the first female president of the United States. She still is the first female vice president of the United States, a wonderful accomplishment. Just shout out to anyone out here who just really put themselves out there in 2024. As you look at so many things politically, that always kind of jumps out there. But there were so many headlines. We, of course, had the Sean P. Diddy Combe headlines. We had so many young shooters, and so, I mean, it's just been such a year of ups and downs. And one thing I learned and what we try to do with the Wiz of the Week, we're recapping the year of some of the craziest headlines. But at the same time, we have to understand that we're not here to glorify these things. We're here to give you new perspective with Sunday Stacks. Is how does these things help your life stack up when you think about these distractive headlines that lead us to emotional recalls? And if you go back to previous episodes of Sunday Stacks, we can recap so many Wizards of the Week we were able to tap into. And really, the goal is through these Wizards of the Week to show you how easily we forget what happened week for week.
That's so
But
true.
Sunday Stacks make sure that we recap these things so you can always stay close to the pulse of what's going on. And there's so many other headlines that, political, like I said, around the globe, there was so many headlines going on, wars and, conflict.
Yeah, currently South Korea, if you haven't had a chance to follow that story, they have two presidents and call for them to step down. So, and this isn't a matter of weeks. This isn't like long term. Like they ousted the first one, and then the person that they wanted to be there for 2 weeks. I mean, to replace him after 2 weeks' performance or the lack thereof, he was kicked out and on the outs. So I'm not sure who the active president of South Korea is at the moment, but right now they've gone through and what that an ousting of government by the people for dissatisfaction, and this is happening in real time in 2024.
Well, we already know because we're preparing for something similar to that here in the U.S. Because with the jokes going around that we got President Elon Musk, it sounds like he may also rotate with the current president elect. Now I'm just playing, but for those out there who know the headlines, there's a lot of tensions going on after a lot of the political battles, the budget crises. A lot of people, questioning the power of Elon Musk to start moving political figures. I mean, it's been such a crazy week. I think what also Jay-Z was denied with his lawyers wanting to throw out his case with his allegations going on. Only thing I can say to everybody is y'all watch out because I don't know anybody who's a part of the culture or what I say hip hop culture, but there's a guy by the name of Uncle Murder that does a yearly wrap up every year consistently. Man, he'll do two different rap video songs to these yearly wrap ups. But I look forward to seeing Uncle Murder's wrap up this year because there was so many headlines, so many titles. I mean, so many Usher videos with him with them cherries. I don't know if anybody's seen Usher.
It's the same year what Chris Brown was taking booty shot pictures with
Oh my goodness,
girls.
all of that. Oh yeah, Chris Brown was getting his money from doing those poses with different. I mean, it's been such a year, guys. The headlines are endless, and it's just amazing how we can continue to just function as a people with social media and the attention spans. I talk to my kids sometimes, and I don't even think they know what reality are in half the time because you're hearing things so quickly recycled. They don't even know what to appreciate. So shout out to anyone born in the 80s, 90s, because it seems like the stuff we did back then is forever timeless and has permeated social media. So it seems like we did things in the right era because nowadays people don't even know what, we don't know what the realm we're living in half the time in
Indeed.
terms of are we in the present? Are we in the past? Social media give you old clip from the old day. Watch a Walter Cronkite interview. You can do just about watch timelines from anything and anywhere.
We saw a hologram of Jane Goodall in
A
the theater
hologram of Jane Goodall, that's
talking like it was today.
I mean, we've seen a lot in this year. This year has been a masterful year. There's been some crazy whizzes of the week. Y'all go ahead and recap. This is episode 35 of Sunday Stack season 2. We are excited to just shout out to the Alive Podcast Network because this is the end of season 2 as we did our
Yeah.
first season on YouTube. You can also check this out on YouTube as well too. SundayStacks.com will get you there. But we are definitely excited to be here, wrapping up our first season with the live podcast, but our second season of the return of Sunday Stacks as a podcast. Quick history lesson. Sunday Stacks started on college radio with a partnership with WAUG, which is on St. Augustine's College campus. And we're so grateful for that early days. That's how me and Shemekka met. That's how we roll. And then we grew this into a friendship that became a family, that became a community, leaders going out here, and we've been building businesses ever since. Really, just support, and it's just been a phenomenal story, a great love story, and we're grateful to bring it to you all here on the Alive Podcast Network. For you all out here listening on YouTube. So thank y'all. And even if you're just coming back and you're catching this episode years later to catch up to say, why is Sunday Stacks and Shemekka, Ebony, and Michael Stewart-Isaacs so popular?
Now
Because
you know.
now you know. Now you know. So with that, we appreciate you giving us your time. Shemak, you want to do some quick household cleanups for our audience who's going to go back and recap all the past Wizards of the Week and all the past episodes of Sunday Stacks and all the past Sunday schools and all the great things they can learn so they can really be a master in these streets?
Maximize the opportunity to reflect and redirect how you take yourself into 2025. Understanding that your practices have to be habits, they have to be commitments, they have to be held accountable. So think about that, work your plan, plan the work, and believe in the impossible, as well as being an example of what's possible. And so with Sunday Stacks, you can learn more at sundaystacks.com. Make sure you download the Alive Podcast Network app and make sure you subscribe to Sunday Stacks. We want to partner with you. And if you're listening to this and you want to say, hey, I want to be a part of this in a more structured way. I want to be intentional in investing and partnering. Then come holler at us. Like, let's talk, let's build, let's grow together. You can certainly visit Shemekka.com and learn more, get resources, get access to how to reach out to us, how to be featured. All that information is on Shemekka.com. I definitely look for us on social media, all platforms of Shemekka Ebony and Michael Stewart-Isaacs. You can also find Sunday Stacks Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. And we want to make sure that we continue connecting with you. So if you haven't done so already, like we said, make sure you download the Alive Podcast Network app and make sure you subscribe to Sunday Stacks.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard it there. Sunday Stacks. We are grateful. Great season two. Shemekka, thank you for your partnership as always. We're excited to relaunch in the new year with season three. We hope to bring you some greater topics, some greater ways to continue stacking up your life. And we appreciate you all who've tuned in for all 35 episodes. We're excited. We did it, Shemekka. We
We
did it.
did it.
Congratulations, and thank you all out here that love us here in podcast land for continuously tuning in to Sunday Stacks. And we will see you next year. Peace.